Hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, work. There you go.
Forward!
Hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, work. There you go.
Forward!
Hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, work. There you go.
Forward!
Hard work, hard work, hard work.
Fall in.
Hey, what's good? What's good? What's good? Y'all know what it is. It's your boy Trey, and we're rocking this morning. E2G Sports Network presents First Formation Morning Sports Talk. So come on and fall in with your favorite vets on the net as we get to talking about what's been cracking and what's been going on in the sports realm in the course of the last 24 hours and a little beyond. But first, before we get to that, of course, we got a special guest this morning, Mr. Michael Fess-Richardson, representing the down there in representing down there in San Antonio, represent Air Force. Mike, what's good with you this morning?
Good morning. Good morning. Glad to be here, man. What's
So, of
happening?
course, it's the same old, same old. Of course, if y'all don't know, if you've been tapping in, he's been here a couple times before. Also, representative one of the hottest and most sought after finals or nationals in the National Military Basketball Tournament. Mike, what's good? What's new? What's going on? Well, you know what? Before we get into that, you were at the Capitol Classic, correct?
Yes, sir.
How was the competition and everything from your standpoint as a coach?
Man, it was a great tournament, man. The competition was top notch. It was a well done. The organization from top to bottom was well put together. It was a great tournament. People that showed out, showed up and showed out. They had a great time. It's almost like when you go down there for that Capitol Classic, it's almost like a family reunion of sorts because everybody is getting together, having a good time. It's 4-day weekend. A lot to do in DC. It was a great weekend, long weekend but the tournament was like that. It was very good. Richard Plignani, he puts on a great tournament. He's one of our counterparts. He's an MWR guy. They put together a great tournament. They had some great sponsors. Really good time.
I seen that award they gave. I was like, okay, I see. I was like that. That was a pretty nice award with the eagle with the ball off to the side.
Yeah, you know what? He built that himself.
Oh, okay.
The tournament director, he told me, he's like, oh yeah, I bought the eagle from trophy shop. I got the basketball, but he does woodworking.
Oh, okay.
He actually did those two trophies.
Okay, they were nice. So I look at it, I was like, okay, I was like, those are pretty nice. So using those skills, skills that you have. So of course, one of the things in which we talked about yesterday, as I spoke with Coach Parrish and Coach Walcott yesterday, is of course in which he put Coach Walcott reminded me, due to the fact that the classic, the Capitol Classic is an open tournament, it's not open. It doesn't afford an automatic bid for a winning team into the NMBT, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
We've never given an automatic bid to the Capitol Classic winner because it is an open tournament. So what that means is simply this: you had a couple teams in there like that combined roster, Cure Cancer, and it's for that venue because only what happens is with the open tournament, the only requirement is that you have an ID card. So you can pick up whoever you want. You can name your team whatever, the Renegades, whatever you want to be. But on the national, we're looking at crowning the National Military Basketball Tournament champion, base, post level. Now, the only difference between us and pretty much the NBA concentrates on the pure roster, where we got a little caveat to that where, let's say, for instance, an individual, there's a star out there, big time military ball player who's at a base that doesn't have a varsity program.
Mm-hmm.
So we give that caveat to where we allow 2 free agents to be put on a roster, so that we can get out there to see those guys. Because at the end of the day, at the National Military Basketball Tournament, I have all the all-service coaches there. So it kind of serves as a combine to get those individuals, hey, whether they're in the Navy, Marine Corps, Army, Air Force, Coast Guard, Space Force, all the all-service coaches are there at that tournament. So it kind of serves as a combine, and we get to see all the players to possibly even invite to their trial camps in the fall.
Okay, and which was that leads into that would have been my next question was because conversation came up and it was going on while I was talking to Coach Wayne Walcott is what is the format or what would be the format that's going to be utilized this year for or being utilized for the NMBT, which I said I would get that question out, but of course you just said with the caveat to players that don't have players that do not have a varsity program.
Yes.
If they can get on somewhere, then they'd be for the opportunity. No more than 2, however.
Yes, per roster.
Per roster.
And so when you get into an open tournament, I get probably one of the biggest complaints out there right now is guys say they just want to hoop. Mm-hmm. Well, if you just want to hoop, you don't mind hooping for your base or post if it's truly about hooping. Or is it more about stacking a team because I only want to compete if I'm competing with my friends on the same team? That's not how the military works. That's not military basketball. That sounds more like the military transfer portal.
Portal. That's exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah, they stacking teams, and then so you want to stack a team and say, hey, we want to compete for the national championship. No. Your national championship would be the Capital Classics, those open tournaments, and that's fine. If that's what you want to play, that's cool. But I always say you do have a choice. You have a choice. You can play for whoever you want to play for, but there are consequences to those choices. Every decision that you make, there's a consequence. Now you can pick up a team and you can go. You can fly guys from across the country and put together a team and go play at this one tournament. And it's fine and dandy. You win the Capital Classic, you are the Capital Classic champions. But it kind of, it would basically kill the integrity of my tournament if I gave a mixed team, basically an all-star team, to come in and compete against base post teams that are playing with their original rosters.
Organic people to the installation.
Yeah, so that's why we kind of, keep that difference. There's an open tournament, then the National Military Basketball Tournament is not an open tournament.
So, in that being said, is there a distance thing in between? Like you have to be within a certain amount of time. I mean, distance of the installation, or is it just basically you have the option to bring in 2 people that aren't organic to your installation, and regardless of the distance?
There is no radius. Okay. When it comes to the free agents, the catch is the free agents have to they can't be a part of an active roster. Now let's say, for instance, let me clarify that as well. Let's say, for instance, you're at a base and your team does not get selected to come to the national. Well, that whole roster is now a free agent.
Oh, okay.
That whole roster is free agents now, and now they can go pick up on another team. The caveat to that is each team is only allowed
2 free agents.
2.
Okay.
So that's where that goes, because we're all about the players, not so much the teams. We still want to bring in the best players that we possibly can, because hey, again, we have the all service coaches here. And hey, you might have a guy that's up in Washington State that, is a solid all Army prospect or all Navy prospect, but wants to come down and show his stuff, what he has. And so he can get picked up by a team that's coming down here, because part of the problem with the military is, again, we're not all fully funded. And a lot of guys pay out of pocket. So what happens with your roster? Let's say, for instance, you got a roster of 12 people, but you only got 8 that's going to be able to come. So if you got 2 guys that you can pick up to round out your roster and make it 10, you can do that.
Okay. So another question, Mike, in which I want to peek too far into your hood. What is the algorithm or the process in which the NMBT committee uses to bring in the players in which y'all? Not the players, the teams in which y'all end up selecting. Is it just based upon? I'm very sure it's not based upon the hottest teams. I'm very sure it is over the course of the season. Of course, but it's a little different because not everyone is playing in the league or a season. Of course, independent teams who are basically play at tournaments. Do you look at tournaments that are somewhat or quote unquote sanctioned, or what's that process?
Good question. Outstanding question. What happens is, the National Military Basketball Tournament is an invitational, meaning it's invitation only, invite only. So my rankings actually come from, let me break it down this way. There's only one tournament that really gets an automatic bid, and that's the Joe Hall tournament that I host down here in San Antonio. And the reason why we did that was to try to boost up the participation. It's very early in the season. It's when the season's first getting started. So, it kind of serves as an incentive. Hey, team wins that tournament. You can not only do you get a berth to the national, but it's a paid berth. So,
okay,
Fort Hood ain't paying no entry fee. Their entry fee is waived. So, that's why we do that for that tournament. It was to kind of promote the Joe Hall, to bring it back up to prominence the way it used to be. So we use that as an incentive. Now to get back to how do we work the actual polls. Now, so you got that one tournament. That champion gets a bid. Then we have the five major military conferences. The champion or the leader of that conference at the time of selection will get the automatic bid for that conference. Those conferences that we're talking about is the CMAC, the WAMAC. Both of those conferences fall into MWR. Okay, so then you got the NBA conferences, the Atlantic Coast Military Basketball Conference, the CUSNBL, and the Pac West, ran by Jason LaFasciano. So they're champion, those 5 champions. So now you got 6. There's 6 out of 16. Okay, the last 10 are at large. Just like the round of 64, like we're gonna go with the committee's gonna select the 10 best teams are whoever's hot at the time.
Okay.
Whoever's hot at that time is gonna get those last 10 spots. So a lot of times it would be a lot of runner-ups, from conference runner-ups, and we're looking at the whole body of work, just like the NCAA selection committee looks at. I keep all my rankings from the first ranking to the last one, and I'll go back and I'll hack it out. These and that. Then other things come into play as well. You might have some teams that's in the top 5 that can't accept the invite.
Okay, correct.
They can't travel. That may be a situation like with the Air Force Academy prep club team. A lot depends on their class schedule, whether they can come or travel or not. So if they're unable to come, I'm going to go to the next person, to the next squad, and give them an invite. If they're good, they accept the invite or not. It happens every year. Every year there's always at least 2 or 3 teams that, for whatever reason, can't accept the invite. Roster falls through. Guys don't, they're not fully committed. So we just go down to the next team on the list.
Okay, let me get my cold heart in there. Bishop, what's good with you this morning, brother? What's going on, man?
What's good? WGO, how y'all doing this morning? How you doing, Mr. Richardson? How you doing? Good
What's
morning.
up, Bishop? What's up, man?
Good, man? What's up?
Always glad to see you, man.
Yeah, man.
We need to run into each other, man. We right here in San Antonio, and I never see you.
I know. I'm hearing you talk, and I'm like, this.
You know they got a tournament
right
this
here in San
weekend,
Antonio?
Bishop.
No, I
They
did
got
not know that.
Not this weekend, next weekend. I'm sorry, next weekend.
Well,
Oh,
no,
next
actually tomorrow.
Oh yeah, it is this weekend, the 26th.
Yeah, we got a little. I kind of created a name. You know, I'll call it the Texas Two-Step Classic.
Got it. I like it.
So we brought we're gonna have Fort Sam, Lackland, Barksdale's coming down, and Fort Hood's coming down.
Where
and they're gonna play at the Chaparral on Lackland. Games tomorrow at 9, 11, 1, and 3. And then Sunday games are at 9 and 11. So everybody's gonna play each other head to head.
I'm there.
And gives those teams because all those teams are independent besides Fort Sam. So to answer Trey's question, we got scheduled games that those guys play.
I'm
you
there.
know, people ain't heard from Fort Hood since MLK tournament.
Right. I'm there. I'm so there.
So I was
Chaparral is just right around the corner from me. That's like 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, so that's a pull up real quick.
Yeah, easy pull up.
So actually, it was something that came up just so I was thinking as I listened to you speak, Mike. So is there what was the reason why the champion from the previous year doesn't get a automatic bid or anything like that? What was that was interesting. I didn't hear you say that as being one of the prerequisites. What was the mindset? What you're thinking behind that? Like, you know what? Okay, champion, you don't get it in, as opposed to, well, you said the Joe Hall was which is a clear marketing great scheme. It's like, okay, y'all, we'll let you in free if you win the Joe Hall to boost people participating in the Joe Hall. Why not for winning the actual tournament in which it's just in itself?
Well, that's a good question. It's a real good question because think about it. The defending champions are one of the first teams. It is Fort Hood.
Yeah, in this case, yeah.
So it's kind of like we used to do that way back when we first started. Okay. When we first started and we was trying to get the actual tournament off the ground, but it's become so big now that man, it's more about, because if you bring a team, let's say for instance, this is the military.
Yes.
It just so happened like Fort Hood, they have a rock solid program. So, you know, they're going to be pretty good every year. But let's say, for instance, let's go ahead and give out. I'll use Lackland for example, because Lackland's never won the national. So let's say if Lackland won the national this year, does that mean they're going to be good next year?
I get what your point. Okay.
You know,
it's like catching lightning in a bottle, like Philadelphia caught during the NFC Championship game.
It was good seeing you, Mr. Richardson.
He did sleep that Saturday, didn't he?
Yes, but this is the thing. This is the thing, Mr. Richardson. He talking about we caught lightning in the bottle. This is coming from a guy who had a team who really caught lightning in the bottle with a third string quarterback.
10 games in a row.
If you're not
lightning in the bottle,
we catch lightning in the bottle with a starter when y'all really the one that caught lightning in the bottle with a third string quarterback.
Y'all caught lightning. I say y'all lightning in the bottle.
Who was the 19th pick in the 10th round. Y'all the ones that caught a lightning in the bottle. Really?
8 consecutive wins is not lightning in the bottle. I've only
and how many consecutive wins did we have before we lost?
I knew you was gonna say that. History.
11.
I was about to say that. Additionally, I say the lightning in the bottle is the simple fact that his elbow injury at the precise right time.
No. What you won't do is no. Jalen Hurts' was still hurt.
Are you putting all your money, Trey, on San Fran on Mr. Irrelevant?
Oh, I mean, that's all we had at that point. But I would have went with it.
But
I'll be honest. I'd be 100%. I believe that we really had a chance to beat Philadelphia. But when he went down with that injury,
you didn't believe that, Trey.
I did. I really did. You know, I would have been like, I didn't think we was gonna beat Philly either. I honestly think we was gonna put Philadelphia in a coffin. but it just we gonna zip them up. But it was
with a third string quarterback. You thought that
it's the same it's the same third string quarterback that played. Well, no, it wasn't the same third string quarterback. The last game we lost was against the team in which y'all lost.
Which was who? Which was
that was the last game we lost.
Okay.
10 weeks.
11 weeks.
So, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah. So.
But I will say this. I picked Philly to win that game. But I thought it wasn't because of Mr. Irrelevant. I thought San Fran's defense would have put up a better fight.
We tried.
When they didn't show up, their defense didn't show up, so that kind of took everything out. And then, and then San Francisco was not built to play from behind. Now you don't have a quarterback, and you're not playing.
Everyone knows it's going to Chris. Everyone knows
it's kind of like, when my Saints went up there to Philly and beat Philly. The only way they can do it was they had to stay ahead because we're not built to come from behind.
That part.
It just so happened, and if y'all saw that game, Philly was coming back. It probably had, if it had another 7-8 minutes,
yeah,
we might have lost.
That
part. I mean,
it
is what it is.
Y'all the NFC, y'all NFC conference champions in state.
That part.
Y'all said,
and we beat San Francisco to be that.
You know what? Y'all get another opportunity next year.
We sure do. We got y'all during the regular season schedule.
In your home.
So,
yes, sir.
Okay, so now to answer your question, Trey. So again, now Philly won the NFC. So we just automatically put them in the playoffs next year?
That's a good point. Because they might not have the same. They already don't have the same offensive and defensive coordinator. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? So they may not be the same team in which they might not have the same players. Right. It's a difference in a year. So I can see that you might not have the same team that got you that championship. And so it's like, do you automatically? So I get the duly noted, clear point. Definitely,
and they may not have Justin. I mean, they may not have what's his name?
Miles Sanders.
No, we're gonna have Miles Sanders. We're not. We may not. Y'all may not have Brock Purdy starting. So that's a plus for us. That's a plus for us anyway.
Y'all keep asking for these Trey Lance problems. We gotta get it. I don't want to hear
Trey Lance is not a problem. He's not. He's not a problem whatsoever. We rather see Trey than Brock. I'm gonna be totally honest. We rather see Trey than Brock. I'm just being honest. Remember, he's the same product of a Carson Wentz. So we rather see Trey Lance than Brock Purdy.
Oh,
but let me ask you this, Coach, Mr. Richardson. If you seeing how the season ended, and this is still sticking with football, seeing how the season ended, you are the head coach for the San Francisco 49ers. After you seen how the season ended, going into the next season, who's your number one QB you coming out with? Brock Purdy or
you know his name. Stop playing with him.
It's Trey Lance.
Trey Lance, that dude.
It's Trey Lance.
Thank you.
They made that decision early when they pushed Lance over Garoppolo. I don't anticipate Garoppolo coming back. He's going to leave.
Facts.
He may end up in New Orleans. I don't know.
I was about to ask, is that what we're getting at?
We need a quarterback.
He could. So you're not satisfied with Winston?
Jameis is done, man. I mean, really, a lot of people don't understand. Jameis' back is messed up.
Mm-hmm.
He may not ever play again.
That's supposedly why they kept him out, because they wanted to.
His back is messed up. He done slipped a few discs down his lower back in his vertebrae. To be honest, I don't know if he's going to ever be the same. So we're definitely, if you haven't been watching the news, man, the Saints are going hard at a quarterback.
I was about to ask you.
It's a couple of them out there. Aaron Rodgers.
Would you prefer Garoppolo? Coach, would you prefer Garoppolo or Derek Carr?
I want Carr. And I'll tell you this is why.
Okay.
Dennis Allen brought Carr in the league when he was a head coach at the Raiders.
That's
Okay.
right. You're right.
So the other thing to it is the Saints have all offensive weapons. They got
Facts.
them. We just need a mobile quarterback, somebody that can move. Garoppolo can't move.
So do you want Derek Carr or would you prefer Aaron Rodgers?
I probably would prefer Carr over Rodgers. Rodgers is not the pivot.
Really? Interesting. Interesting.
But I really like that rookie coming out, CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud, yeah. CJ
Now,
Stroud.
and one thing about the Saints, you know, I'm a big Saints fan. They love Ohio State players.
Olave.
They drive out Mike Thomas.
Mike Thomas, yeah, I was about to say Mike Thomas.
Lattimore on the defense. The whole secondary at one point was from Ohio State.
Yeah.
Malcolm Jenkins, the whole nine. They are big Ohio State even to the slow ass linebacker we got. He's terrible. Apparently the Saints scouts must be Ohio State grads or something.
It could be worse. It could be Oklahoma Sooner grads. I mean, just imagine a team for the Oklahoma Sooner.
We had two in the Super Bowl. Don't worry about it.
I had two that won the Super Bowl.
Two quarterbacks. We had two quarterbacks in the Super Bowl. We had one that won the Super Bowl. Was in the Super Bowl that won. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Blake Bell. He was on the 40. He was on the Kansas City Chiefs. Yes, sir. I don't think I know.
So it saying that Coach Mike, what do you think about the state of two of your offensive players, key offensive players, that being the aforementioned Mike Thomas, and currently facing charges, indicted? I don't know if y'all dropped the I don't know if y'all seen the video. Alvin Kamara. What do you think about what the future are for those two guys?
Oh man, Thomas, he's gone.
He's done. Okay.
Yeah, we got. Hey, you got to cut Thomas.
Michael Thomas, yeah, he got to go.
Yeah, this guy played a total of 4 games in 3 years after he signed that $100 million contract.
Stolen valor.
Stolen valor. That part.
He's got to go. We got to dump that contract. We got to dump it.
Facts.
So, and we've already got his heir apparent. Olave in the field in the spot.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're used to now. They've been the last 3 years without him. So
Right.
we're used to playing without him. And so why are we paying this guy?
Right.
Oh, Drunk said he'd take Hendon Hooker over Stroud.
I like Hooker too. Key to that is he's coming off of ACL.
Injury. That's a major injury. That's the only thing that pauses people probably of Hendon Hooker is the fact that that injury.
You know, you're making, you know, that business side, and you get that business side, it's, you know, are we willing to give these guys all this money off just based on potential? And when your potential happens to include an injury, things get a little sticky.
So going back into the tournaments, or going back into the NBT and the military basketball tournaments and stuff like that, what was maybe I missed it when you were speaking earlier, Coach? What was the reason for the Texas two-step? Was that just a something to give the independents the opportunity to have, for y'all to see them a couple of independents up front, up close and personal, due to the fact they're not playing in anything and they're just basically playing tournaments?
Right. And you know, Lackland, for instance, we talked with most of the teams during the MLK tournament at Fort Hood, and part of the couple of teams' issues was they wasn't funded, and the other part to that is paying officials. You know, the officials piece.
Which is a huge. I was looking at my budget the other day. I was like, goodness gracious.
Yes. So you understand, and we have a contract. So you know, we have a officials contract that takes care of our intramural and our varsity games, all that stuff. So I have no problem paying for officials, and as well as I work with Mr. Cannon, who happens to be fitness and sports director over at Fort Sam. We split the cost because we all got the same contract. We're JBSA, so we're joint based. Yeah. We all fall under the same contract when it comes to officials. It just comes from a different pot of money based on the installation. So got together with Doe up there at Barksdale. He was like, "Hey, we come, man. We'll come. Just get a weekend together, and we'll come together. We'll bring it down." Coach Uriah, same thing. We all put our heads together. Fort Sam is always right up the road looking for a game. So I would have offered a couple more teams, but then it would have turned into a full-fledged tournament. But that is the main reason why we get out there and set some of these matchups, because everybody wants to see why is Fort Hood number one. That's one of the things. Why has Fort Hood been number one, basically wire to wire so far? Well,
true. They've been number one since the beginning of the season. Yeah,
they've only lost one game to one military, and that was Lackland. In the Joe Hall.
Okay. We know why they number one.
Yeah, why they number one.
We know why they number one. Say it with your chest, Calvin. Tell Mr. Richardson why they number one. Clear cut. He said.
Okay, you say clear cut. That's where you go. Yeah. So another question that comes up while we're sitting here thinking about their deep, Mike, is like, say, in terms of like Fort Hood, do you put any does any thing go into these organizations or these teams that are playing universities and other teams that they don't have any tournament? Does that get accounted for anything? These teams that's playing against like university teams and stuff like that to fill the void of them not having any games?
Yes, sir. It means a lot. I track that as well. No one over here in the States have seen them. Hawaii Elite comes in top 5, but they're in Hawaii. They don't have anybody to play, except for the exception of the semi-pro teams and the JUCOs over there.
Right.
And they're in the semi-pro league up there that Coach Ron Johnson, RJ, he keeps me intact. They play every weekend. So those teams. Lackland's an independent. Well, I know because I schedule all their games. So they play Texas A&M San Antonio. They played Temple. They played as well as go to the tournaments. We sent them to the Capital Classic. Pretty much we support them. If they want to go, we'll make sure that they go.
I wish I could
Fort Hood plays a solid. They play a solid JUCO schedule.
Yeah, University of Maryland, Howard Baylor, those teams up around that area. I think Wiley was.
Coach Hunter puts. They play a solid schedule.
So Bishop, you pulled up Texas two-step. You Texas two-stepping this weekend?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go check them out, man. Like I said, they right around the corner, man. So
you ain't on the schedule to officiate, are you?
No. As a matter of fact, I was just looking as he was talking about it. I was looking to see if they had scheduled me to officiate any games this weekend. And no, I'm not on the schedule. I'm not. They don't have me scheduled to officiate.
Games tomorrow, like I said, games tomorrow are 9, 11, 1 and 3, and then Sunday 9 and 11.
9-11. Okay.
The 11 o'clock game on Sunday is probably going to be the marquee game. That's going to be Hood versus Lackland.
Let's go. Okay.
So you're looking at 2 top 10 teams going at it right there.
I like it.
And the only military team to beat Fort Hood this year
is Lackland.
It's Lackland.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I'm ready for the smoke. That's gonna be some smoke in the city.
So going back in right there, falling back into the that NFL conversation we were just having for both Coach Richardson and of course Bishop. What is now? Do y'all think the Philadelphia is going to fall? I ain't gonna say fall apart. It's going to take a step back, losing both coordinators. or do see? There's no shade whatsoever. These are real questions. And look at
You see what I got to deal with, Mr. Richardson? You see what I got to deal with on a day-to-day, man? That is not a real good question. How is that a real good question?
Y'all lost the offensive. The way you talk about Nick Sirianni,
listen to the term you used. Are they gonna fall apart?
I took that question around and I said, take a step back due to the fact, like you said, Nick Sirianni. You always talk about Nick Sirianni and his coaching. Now he loses both his offensive and defensive coordinator that he just went to the Super Bowl with.
The players to it takes
that's what
even both coordinators both coordinators did their job. However, it takes the players to execute. So as long as we got a coordinator that comes in and knows what they're doing, we have the players to execute whatever it is that needs to be done on the gridiron between the numbers. But fall apart. We're just gonna fall
step back. See,
you said fall apart first.
No,
you said
hold up. I didn't even finish. I was like, hold up. Let me say step back because I was expecting to fall apart. I expect to step back. Step back.
Too weird, man.
A step back. That's why I said.
This is what I got to deal with Mr. Richardson.
Step back. So you say you don't think it's going to be a step back in any case? I'm very sure you don't expect them to go another 13-1 or 3 something like that.
Why not?
14-3 or something, right? That's what you expect.
Why not?
I'm just asking. I don't expect the 49ers to go 13-3.
Hold on. This is what you expected before your 49ers in the beginning of the season, did you not?
I did say they were going to go 13-3. I gave them less than that, and they went 13-3 under harsh conditions.
So why can't I expect the same thing?
Okay.
If you say okay, so. Thank you very much.
I'm just saying. I'm saying here, right here. They're not going 13-3.
History goes against that, though.
It does. It does.
When you talk about the NFC East, they never were champions. So nobody's going to win the East next year.
No one is like that's. No matter what happens, how good the teams is, the champion. Like Cowboys came on strong, but it's like, nah, stop playing with you. Stop playing with me.
Yeah, I mean that's straight facts. I mean, and no quarterback who lost the Super Bowl has returned to the Super Bowl the following season. That's never happened either. But it's about to be the first.
You see Calvin's response before they talk about the Cowboys to have a full season to come up with a defensive lineup of schemes and counter the Philadelphia Hurts.
That part, man. I'm not mad at it, man. Let's go. They got to figure out something, man.
So I guess I have to pose a question to Mike since he doesn't have any bias in this situation. Coach Richardson, do you think there will be a step back from what Philadelphia produced, lacking to losing both your offensive and defensive coordinator from the four Super Bowl season?
I don't know if it's going to be a step back, but it's going to be a little more difficult because I heard what Bishop said. Hey, players execute, but at the same time, you're going to be bringing in 2 new coordinators. All right, so that means a whole different scheme. So I kind of wait and see what happens in the draft, which way they go. Defensively, they're solid, but they got exposed. Andy Reid exposed them. Mm-hmm. And so it kind of comes back to what scheme are they going to go to? Are they going to move to the 3-4?
Right.
I was about to say Houston exposed them too.
That front 7 is dominant. Their front 7 is dominant. I would say, hey, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I'm probably transitioning to a 3-4, having Dominican Sue in the middle. At the nose tackle, you got Fletcher, Cox. You got those guys. You put those 3 guys, and then you build around your 4 linebackers. And he didn't do a lot of blitzing. He got pass rush with his front 7.
That part.
So I'm thinking that new coordinator on the defensive side is the one that's going to. I don't see too much of a shake on the offensive side because the head coach is an offensive mind.
Right.
So he's going to continue to do what he does.
Mm-hmm.
But that defense is we'll see. We'll have to see.
That part. I got a question for you. Since you, Mr. Richardson, since you're a Saints fan, let me hear what your take is on this.
Whoa, who was my favorite? My favorite Saint not even on that list. My favorite Saint was Pat Swilling.
Pat Swilling. Okay, I know who you're talking about. I know exactly who you're talking about.
That's why you're talking about with Ricky Jackson.
Yeah, I was about to say that's why you talk about slow linebackers. Pat Swilling, Pat Swilling. That's why you talking about slow linebackers.
Yeah, you know, Swilling, Ricky Jackson, Sam Mills.
I remember them. Yep.
And Von Johnson.
Okay. That just came across my timeline, so I was just wondering. I know you a Saints fan, so I was wondering.
Dome Patrol.
Okay.
I see Tyrann. Speaking of Saints, Tyrann Mathieu has accepted a reconstruction of his contract, but basically has killed close to $4.5 million in salary cap space for 2023. So I asked this question, Coach and Bishop as well. What do y'all think about stars or high-profile players that are willing to take pay cuts in order to better the team, or do you feel like, nah, I didn't sit up and play to earn this. I'm not taking a cut at all. What would be your mindset?
I personally don't have a problem with it. Don't get me wrong. I'm like any other player. I'm just like any other person though. Like, don't try to drop me from $100 to $2 just so you can pick up another player. Now, don't do. That's not what we're gonna do. But if it's gonna do something to betterment our team, and it's a key addition to help in an area in which we need to focus on, I'm all for it, man. Because when it's all said and done, I guess it all depends on you as an individual and as a player. What are you more concerned with, or what are you more focused on? Are you more focused on the money aspect of the game and making money and looking out for your family, looking out for you and taking care of, trying to make generational wealth? Or are you more focused on trying to win a Lombardi trophy? And one has to outweigh the other. You can't have both 9 times out of 10. Some actually get that opportunity and has an opportunity to have both. We could probably say that would be probably Tom Brady. Got paid, got numerous Lombardi trophies, and he has some mediocre teams here and there. Back, especially when in the first few times he won some Super Bowls. But for the most part, you have to get key players to come in to fulfill certain spots that y'all weak at. And I feel like if you have to I feel like if you have to take a pay cut to get that, I don't have a problem with it. I would take a pay cut, long as it's not too drastic of a pay cut. Don't try to, like I said, don't have my family. Yeah, don't have my family going from, shrimp scampi to oodles and noodles. That's not what we doing now. We ain't doing that. But other than that, though, yeah, if we go to shrimp scampi and we have shrimp scampi and we go to, shrimp Alfredo, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it.
See, Mike, this is what I had to put up with.
I'm just saying.
He ain't just go to he didn't go from. You see, this is what he didn't go chicken Alfredo. He said shrimp. He didn't go chicken Alfredo. He said shrimp Alfredo. He's like, I ain't giving up my shrimp. I ain't giving up my shrimp to nobody.
Yeah, that's a lot of a meal. I ain't giving up my shrimp for nobody.
All right,
yeah, he's like, you just basically you traded
shrimp scampi to chicken Alfredo.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's like, I ain't giving up my shrimp. It's like you basically telling us you basically telling us you ain't taking less than a 1% cut. That's basically what you telling us.
No, listen.
Damn Lombardi trophy.
Yeah.
No, listen. I'm gonna tell y'all why I didn't say chicken, because it was Black History Month. So I ain't want everybody. didn't even think I want everybody thinking, that's all black people think about it, chicken. No, that's why he say chicken. He say chicken, but I'll take chicken Alfredo. I like chicken. I'll take chicken
You could
Alfredo.
at least said you could at least said saying shout out to Mike. You could at least said I ain't going from shrimp Alfredo to just crawfish. Like you could have at least just said, yeah. You said
my bad. You right. Chicken Alfredo.
You basically went from tomato sauce to cheese. That's basically all you did.
Right there.
That's all you did. You ain't taking no cut whatsoever. You ain't here like Aaron Rodgers. Like, no, bro. It's like, no, Eddie will start me. Eddie will continue to start me. Like, you get here like Aaron Rodgers.
All right, chicken. I'll take chicken. Ain't no more shrimp on the menu. I'll take. I was
always like, dang, he back to a struggling college student with oodles and noodles. I was like, dang, like you try to. What you said?
My bad.
From shrimp scampi to shrimp Alfredo.
My bad.
I'm going to continue to have my shrimp,
man.
But yeah, so okay.
What up, Coach Hunter?
What's up, Coach Ryan? Coach, I seen Coach Myers, Commissioner Myers earlier. How y'all doing? So, Coach Richardson, are you fine with it, or what do you think about it? Are you on the same thing like Bishop? Like you not?
We all get that it's a business. We all get that, but to me, I saw Calvin McCabe say when they take that restructured contract, mean they lost a step. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily all the time. Now, if they lowball you, that's one thing. But it is the ultimate team sport. If I'm in the front office, I'm looking at, hey, if we need to cut my contract to get in a quarterback because that's what they need, I know we're 10, 15 million over the cap. Mm-hmm. I may be willing to restructure to get me a better player, to get us a quarterback that can get us over the hump. But not just for gee whiz. If we ain't got no future, let's say for instance I'm sitting down in what's the most horrible team out there right now in the league?
The Chicago Bears.
Bears, probably.
Chicago Bears, Texans.
Mm-hmm. Texans, yeah.
No, I ain't restructuring nothing.
I got to prove it first.
Yeah, right now, if you on that roster, it's about you. We ain't winning jack.
I'm sorry, sir.
Whoa, the hate. Coach Hunter said, "Whoa, the hate."
I'm sorry because the Chicago did roll right off my tongue, even though Texas is out there. I'm sorry.
They worse, yeah. Texas is worse.
Right.
Yeah, Texas.
But if you truly got a contender, and you may be one piece away, and you may need to restructure your contract to make your team better, to get you over the hump, I'm all for that. But
does that consist of it? Does that same philosophy go for the NBA as well? If it was an NBA team, would you feel the same way with the way they've teaming up with teammates? Do you feel the same exact way as creating big threes across the NBA and stuff? Do you feel like that's the same?
No, I don't think that's the same. That's a little different. That's almost where we at with military basketball right now. That's wow. That's out of control. If you're that guy, if you're that great coach, you coach who you got.
You don't believe in the big three teaming up thing going on in the BM.
That's organic.
I call that the George Steinbrenner syndrome. You out there trying to
buy a championship, basically.
Taking shortcuts.
Got you.
That's how I view that big three thing.
Okay. That's fair. I like to hear, so, and some people feel that way. I in a way, Coach Mr. Richardson, I feel the same way. I don't particularly care for the big three because, like you, I'm a Jordan era type guy, and them teams they didn't build teams like that back in the day. Like you said, they coached with what they had, and they made it happen with what they had. If you lucked up and had, right, if you lucked up and had a bunch of superstars on your team, you lucked up and got a bunch of superstars on your team. From the Boston Celtics to the Detroit Pistons to the Lakers, they didn't go get all these. They built that team from scratch.
First and foremost, what you're not going to do is say the Boston Celtics, then put the Pistons in front of the Lakers when you say that. Well, I see what you did.
It wasn't in no numerical order.
How do you even? But I'm trying to figure out how do you even say that? Like, that doesn't even roll off your tongue.
Was all three of those organizations built from scratch?
What we're not going to do is put them all in the same category.
Which team wasn't built? Which one wasn't built from scratch?
2 of the 3 have double-digit championships.
We ain't talking about number. See, this is what I got to deal with, Mr. Richard. Ain't nobody saying nothing about numbers of championship. We talk about. He said built from scratch.
I'm saying
deal with the players in which you have.
Back in the day, when we talk about back in the day, when you say back in the day. When you say Boston, I'm thinking you're assimilating to, okay, back in the day, Boston was a powerhouse. Los Angeles Lakers were the only other powerhouse outside of anyone else.
Detroit wasn't a powerhouse?
Not till the 80s, in the late 90s. I mean, early 90s, late 80s.
That's my era. I can only speak on my era.
Okay.
That's my era. 80s,
why put Boston in there? Because they surely wasn't a powerhouse in that era.
In the 80s? They weren't?
Not when the Lakers took over.
Yes, they were.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, they were. The McHale's.
Who was the only team beating the Lakers?
Boston. Thank you. The 80s. That was an era.
When I look at it, Detroit and Boston, LA, when you start to put Detroit in that conversation, in my opinion, Detroit becomes to separate themselves because Boston and LA fell off at that point, in my opinion, until they reemerged again during the time with the Big Three era, during the Big Three era. So at that point, in my opinion, it was like Detroit.
Wait a minute, Trey. When
Chicago.
did the Big Three era start? When are you?
Technically, to be honest, that all what we're talking about was prior to. Because how you think Kareem got into the Los Angeles Lakers uniform?
The trade. I got you. He got traded.
So that early, in my opinion, that type of stuff started way before. But when I'm talking about the Big Three, I'm talking about.
That wasn't. But see, I hear where you're going with that. I hear what you're saying, Trey. And it
was one player. Yeah, a dominant player. But the Lakers already had. But the Lakers already had players at that time as well.
But they didn't have a Kareem.
No, they didn't have a Kareem.
They didn't have a Kareem.
But they had a whole bunch of different players at that time, and then they. But
unlike LeBron, Dwayne, and Bosh, like people, they weren't lobbying to try and create a super team. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about.
Detroit squeezed out 2 chips in the NBA, and we're putting them in there. Yeah, see, thank you, Cal. Me and Cal will be here.
You squeeze out back-to-back chips.
That part, and how many teams could say that? That part.
A couple,
back
to backs.
Only a couple of teams only a few teams can say that. Out of however many teams it is, only a few teams can say they did back to backs or back to backs.
It starts at the top.
And what killed that was expansion. The expansion draft. The expansion draft killed Detroit.
Mm-hmm. That part.
When they lost Rick Mahorn.
Thank you. But I mean, I totally understand where you're coming from, Mr. Richard, in regards to it. I like I said, in my area, I don't believe in the Big Three. I don't believe in trying to recruit or lobby for players to come over here to try and build this super team.
So you'll believe in Phoenix right now.
That's just the era today, though.
It is. It's not that I don't believe in Phoenix, Trey. It's the fact that the thing is, when it's all said and done, right? Phoenix acquired KD. Get it. I got it. But
do y'all think Phoenix, before you answer that real quick, Bishop, I'll ask you because I think that's where you're going to go. So I just put the question out there. Do y'all believe, Coach Richardson, Bishop, do y'all believe that Phoenix is going to be what everyone think they are going to be this season?
Yes, I do.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I do. KD is a huge addition to that team. But I'm gonna let Mr. Richardson say his piece. But I think he's a huge addition. Injury, yeah.
A lot of people are still sleeping on Denver. Denver is a problem.
I believe so too.
Denver's a problem. That's gonna be a tough out. If Phoenix is able to get past Denver, they'll come out the West.
The thing about Denver, though, Mr. Richardson, is now I'm not sleeping on Denver. I'm definitely not sleeping on Denver, but I feel like they just can't get over the hump. I feel like Denver is like the Dallas, where they can't get over the hump. They got everything. They have all the ingredients, but they ain't mixing it right.
The only difference is, that, and you're right there. but the difference in playoff basketball is about matchups. When you start talking about series, different teams match up well with other teams.
Facts.
And and for me, I just think that Phoenix matches up well with Denver. As long
Now
as you
they, now they do.
as long as you don't get to the bench. The bench, if the benches show some depth or some improvement for Phoenix, they're going to be a problem. But their starting five is going to be legit.
Really, I'm gonna say what Vince McKay say. Nobody believes. It's not that nobody believes in Denver. I'm gonna be honest.
I think Denver's gonna. I agree with Coach Fess. Denver's going to be a problem.
I'm not saying they're not, Trey, but we've seen what Denver's done. Tell me honest, be honest, Trey. Is Denver not what we've seen what Boston did last year?
Not now. I think no.
Oh, you thinking they're better this year than
what they
feel
were
like
last year? Yeah, because they got Jamal Murray back and he's had a year to play. That's
that
the
guy.
key. He's a problem. Like Jamal Murray, now they have somebody. It's like a short thing of like they have a rival, like they have Jokic, who's about to be a 3-time NBA MVP. They got Aaron Gordon, who's reemerging. They got Michael Porter Jr., who is a problem. Like he's a problem, and they got Jamal Murray back, another problem.
He's a matchup nightmare.
They have that's the issue. If with Murray and Porter, if they can get right, they got. I mean, they didn't. I mean, they're not. I'm not saying any of them are KD, but they got what's similar. Let's be real. CP3 is CP3 is equivalent. Is an equivalent to what Coach Cal was talking about with Honey Badger and Cam Jordan. That he's getting old and he's getting to the point to where he's strictly a facilitator, and which at some point that's going to start to jump or fall off. So that's starting to fall off, in which now you got Devin Booker and KD, his team and Aiden. That is, I mean, but that's a huge feat to get over. But that's like Coach Mike was saying. Yeah, they and only because defense, in which KD and I know everyone keeps saying KD don't play defense. I don't know if that's true.
No, that's not true. That KD
because
he's a defender.
Okay,
he plays defense. Yeah, he definitely plays defense.
I don't know if Devin Booker might be there, you know what I'm saying, but Aiden definitely plays defense. So,
but the thing with the Phoenix Suns is now when you add KD to that lineup, bro, you've added a whole nother assassin. You got almost a 7-footer who can shoot the pill, who can drive, who can defend. That's something that Phoenix didn't have. They didn't have a shooter like that was almost 7 foot who could shoot from the 3-point line like KD.
I think Malik Beasley was pretty nice.
He ain't a KD.
Oh, well, not that Beasley.
He's not a KD.
He's in LA now,
yeah.
But
he's not a beat.
You to add a KD to the sniper that you got in Devin Booker.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That part.
That's
that
crazy.
Part.
And you got a guy who can drop dimes and who has a killer mid range, and Chris Paul is CP3.
And which I don't understand how they continue to let him get to his spot. He goes to the same spot all game long, and yet they let him get to the elbow. No difference.
Point guard. That's how he gets there.
Point guard. Say it again. Point guard. That's when you good. You know you good, and when you know where the spot is, and you can't stop him from getting to the spot, and he still knock it down. That's crazy.
As bad as Manu Ginobili. Everybody knew he was going up, and still couldn't stop him.
He couldn't stop him from going up.
Everyone knew he was going to hit you with the Euro, but you stood up and fell for the same.
You fall for the same move and now with KD, they spreading the floor. So with them spreading the floor with KD out there, because you got to guard KD at the 3-point line, because if you don't, he gonna knock him down. So now you done spread the floor, like he said, you got a 3-point assassin with Booker. With you spreading the floor, that means now you got Aiden down there by himself. Come on, bro, that's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be a problem.
You think
don't get me wrong. Him and Joker. They're gonna have to battle it out. They're definitely gonna have to battle it out. Don't get me wrong. Him and Joker gonna definitely have to battle out. But it's a good battle I'm willing to take to watch. Will Booker and Aiden step up, or get caught watching? Whenever you got a gang of stars on the court together, that's always the hard part. Getting them to maintain the edge and not be complacent. Facts. That's facts.
What you got with the beginning half of Luka and Kyrie being together. You said watching one another. You
find yourself ball watching. Yep, find yourself ball watching. You added Kevin Durant to a team that made the finals. Didn't lose any core. You can't bet against that. Only team challenging
I
Phoenix.
think they
is
lost the
Clippers.
bench. I think
That's
they
now
on the
that's
bench
that now. This is the thing people
Lost
sleeping
a
on.
lot of
This is the thing. Who the Clippers lost depth?
No, not
No.
the Clippers. What's called
Suns.
Phoenix. They lost
Oh
depth.
yeah.
You know,
But the Clippers, everybody talking about Phoenix, everybody talking about the Lakers, everybody talking about Dallas, everybody talking about Denver. Y'all sleeping on them damn Clippers. That addition over there to the Clippers, bro. I'm telling you, it just like Mr. Richardson said, if Paul George and Kawhi stay healthy, bruh.
they got the Ty Lue syndrome. Ty Lue he'll be the downfall for that.
Yeah, bruh.
But that's
can't
what they
go-
heard. They're basically saying Tyree
know,
is going to be. He's going to orchestrate it. That's what I was reading this morning.
Hey.
They feel like he's going to orchestrate it.
Ty can't get over AI walking over him.
Don't say that, Coach, because this guy doesn't believe that AI stomped over Ty.
He did
Ty
not
Lue.
stomp over him. He
did.
walked over him. He just said it. He said walk
Stomped
over.
over
He
that
didn't say
man.
stomped over. He said walk
He
over.
walked over and put his crotch in the man's face.
He might as well have said it like. That's basically what he should have did. That's what he did.
He teabagged him. That's what he did. He teabagged him.
It was nothing respectful about that.
Nothing.
And looked at him. He could have just continued to look down. He could have continued to just look down the court and go back. No, he looked at him and was like, and all Ty could do is look. I know Laker fans wanted to spill. They wanted the Laker bench wanted to take off on him. That's how bad it was.
That part, Paris. The Clippers are gonna be legit if they could stay healthy. The West is crazy now. If the Clippers stay healthy, the West is going to be a pure bloodbath.
I think they really by that trade and again I go back to saying like everyone looks at it like Patrick Beverly is basically talking about I'm going after my goal now is to make sure the Lakers don't get to this playoffs. The Lakers didn't cut you. They didn't cut you. Westbrook, the same thing. We already know when he across the hall. It's basically like he came back with
who cut him then, Trey? They didn't cut him, but who got rid of him? Who got rid
other
of him?
team? Westbrook gotten rid of.
No, I'm talking about Patrick. I'm talking about Patrick.
Orlando. They bought him out. Bought out. He became so. It's like the Lakers. They do that. They traded you to a money situation. You got over there. They decided we didn't need you. Same thing with Russell Westbrook. We didn't cut you. We traded you. That's it.
Damn, Paris.
I see, right? You see that? Yeah, I'm like, what? I was the same thing. I was like, really?
You know what? Paris and Uriah be on that other stuff. Like the disrespect that he had. Coach Paris is like, he can't even hold me. What? Let alone.
Pat Beverly must just fight D'Lo. He knows how to switch teams and make everyone in and be number one.
Goodness gracious! But yeah, man. But I mean, like you said, going back to Russell Westbrook, that's like I think the biggest problem is like he was starting to vibe to like what people are not paying attention, looking to like Russell Westbrook was leading second tier players, or not second tiers, bench players across the board, and you don't just put a Hall of Famer on a second man squad. Now he has the option to basically now he's a two-way player, even the second line or the starting bench with two. Well, I don't know. I almost slipped and said. You know what? Speaking of that, PG is a potential All-Star. I mean, potential Hall of Famer.
Paul George?
Yes.
I wouldn't say he's not.
His. I was looking at the other day. His numbers said his numbers eclipse some current Hall of Famers and potential Hall of Famers. I didn't realize it, but I'm still kind of baffled by it. I don't know, Coach. Do you think Paul George or anyone out there is Paul George a potential Hall of Famer?
He's a sleeper.
See.
He's a sleeper.
The look on Coach Richardson's face said the same thing. When I looked at it, I was like, "Wait, what?" I was like, "You crazy? Are you serious? You can't be serious."
I'm not going to speak on that too soon. The jury's still out.
See, that's what I say. He's a sleeper. A Hall of Famer. He's a sleeper.
Grant Hill, 7-time All-Star, 5-time All-NBA, first ballot. Tracy McGrady, 7-time All-Star, 7-time All-NBA, first ballot. Paul George, 8-time All-Star, 4-time All-NBA, 4-time All-Defensive NBA. That alone is that potential for?
Yes.
If you comparing them to the other two,
yes.
Yeah, those two. But then I start thinking. Now I think about it. What about points? Like Trace, I don't know, but I was like, I had never thought about Paul George being a Hall of Famer. But it's Kawhi. Does it make Kawhi a Hall of Famer? Now I think about it.
Harris is on one right now. He says, "Oh hell, here we go. It's the Hall of Fame, not the Hall of Good."
See, and that part, like that's I start to think about the same thing for Kawhi.
Shoot.
Is Kawhi a Hall of Famer?
Paul George is in that McGrady boat, questionable. So y'all don't saying so basically, Coach Hunters, Coach Parrish, y'all feel like McGrady shouldn't have been a Hall of Famer?
I don't too much disagree.
If PG can't make it to the finals a couple times and not be the season and be the reason they lost, he's
is Kawhi. So Coach Sarai said Kawhi's a lock. Is Kawhi a lock? Y'all think Kawhi's a lock?
Kawhi should be a lock. Yes.
Yeah.
What makes him a lock for the Hall of Fame?
Bro, we talk Kawhi. Look at what he's done.
He won a championship.
He won 2, didn't he? He got 2.
We go with that championship stuff. Of late,
but not only that,
not just winning the championship. He was probably the deciding factor of them getting that championship.
Especially in Toronto. Especially in Toronto. He left. He had just left San Antonio and went to Toronto and won a championship. That's some Tom Brady type stuff right there, bro. Like, come on.
And y'all forget about the Defensive Player of the Year award.
That part.
They don't call him a call for nothing.
Yeah. Kawhi is definitely a lot, in my opinion.
First ballot.
Easy, in my opinion.
So basically, you got 2 Hall of Famers, and then you add a potential another Hall of Famer to that lineup. Or could put him on the bench with Russell. Like,
you ain't putting him on the bench out of LA. Not in the Clippers.
He thrived there. Why not?
No.
Let Bones Highland get off.
He thriving over there. I told you he would thrive coming off from the Lakers. I told you he would be better coming off the bench with the Lakers. I don't think he'd be better coming off the bench in the Clippers, in my opinion.
They just messed up, man. But it's okay.
2-time Finals MVP, Defensive Player of the Year. Trey, put some respect on the Clippers. There it is.
Damn the Clippers.
You know he don't like the Clippers. That's out of his area. You know that's his foe. You know that's Trey foe.
It doesn't make a difference because in state the Lakers is the LA team. It don't make a difference what the Clippers do. LA is always going to be LA's team. You sound real. You really right now, Trey. You sound like a Dallas Cowboy fan for the Lakers, bro. That's what you sound like, bro. Like for real. It's just that's the reality. It's the Lakers. The Lakers team. The LA's team is the Lakers. It don't make a difference what the Clippers can do. Lob City was more beneficial.
It shouldn't be the Lakers no more. It should be the Golden State. That should be California's team now. It should be Golden State.
Golden State is Oakland's team.
Sleeping on the Kings.
They're coming. I'll give you that. They're third place team.
Definitely they are third, which is and they are quiet third too. They like people are sleeping on the fact that they in third place. They are quiet third.
See, they go CC with the shenanigans because he said that yesterday talking about Lakers fans because both me and Coach Wayne basically said LA's winning the championship. Or
you didn't mean that though, did you?
Yeah,
they winning what championship? Domino
this year?
You know what?
Like, what did they?
1 hour, 7 minutes. I'm going to remember this. I'm going to turn this into a reel. Yes, there was a Domino. Did you say Domino? The man that went from the shrimp Alfredo, and you going to say Domino? Y'all going to keep saying Domino's? That's what you going to simply put. Bro. Really?
So hold on, Trey. Hold on. Mr. Richardson, hold on, man. Hold on.
We go from an NBA championship to the damn domino tournament. Like that's what we do.
Hold on, Trey. So you mean to tell me you think the Lakers gonna get past Dallas?
Yes.
The Clippers?
Yes.
Golden State?
Yes.
Denver?
Yes.
Sacramento?
Yes. And Milwaukee or Boston?
Trey. They got to get out the West first. Forget the East. They got to get out the West.
Trey.
First.
What you sipping on over there, man? That's some good stuff this morning, man. Hey.
Bruh. You is tripping, bro. For real, bro. Anthony Price, Dave Hunter was like, what? What'd he say?
No, Cal, talking about you say
Stop.
yes too confidently there.
Bishop said Domino. I'm just saying the way he said I mean, yeah.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying, Calvin.
Hey, Trey,
you know
my guy, man. But Trey, hey, I don't know what Trey
Mike. Mike, see this? You know what's funny, Mike? Let Bishop have said exactly what I said. Everyone would be like, "Oh yeah, I agree with Bishop. You're right, Bishop."
No,
but I say
Trey, I'm not saying no crazy like that. I don't say crazy stuff like that. I don't say crazy stuff like that.
Wow.
I don't say crazy stuff like that.
Everybody know Bishop Wild already. Bishop is, when it comes to his teams, Bishop Wild. He is dedicated. He is loyal. He is one loyal guy to his teams. Because he ain't said nothing about Oklahoma in a long time.
Really, Mr. Rich, that's what you're gonna do?
Football and basketball, them cats is in the cellar. And they trying to come to the SEC.
Hey, our women are doing well. We're ranked. We're ranked. Our women are doing well. We're ranked.
Talking about the softball team.
That's about it. The softball team.
No, our softball team is dominant.
And our basketball team, our women's basketball team is ranked. They're like 13. We're ranked. Yeah. In women's basketball. Look it up. I'm telling you. We're ranked.
Okay.
Yeah. Now I can't talk about the men's basketball here. Yeah. But we do got a bunch of teams in the Big 12 in the men's basketball, though. We got about 5.
You say that's just like you know what?
I'm just saying.
So now you just go support the Big 12 now?
Yeah, that's what you do. That's what you do there. That's what you do there.
I mean,
that's like the 49ers losing. I'm like, yeah, but the NFC is pretty good.
He represents the Big 12. And last week, both them and Texas talk about we need to leave early.
I'm just saying, man. I'm pulling my best LeBron. If you can't beat him, you join him. I'm pulling my best LeBron, man. If you can't beat him, you join him. I'm just saying.
Yes, but I think
LA's
going to be like Coach Uriah was just saying. LA is looking good. Like they look good last night without D'Lo. D'Lo went down with a sprained ankle early in the fourth quarter, and the LA still, was looking pretty good.
Trey, the Lakers can have spurts of looking good every now and then. That doesn't mean anything.
We are 2.5 games from being a 6th seed.
Hey, I like my guy Uriah, man. That's my dude. But Uriah's running for public office right now. He is the ultimate politician.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. Tell him again, Mr. Richardson. Uriah, man. Come on, Uriah.
But yeah,
who did they play, Trey? Hold on, let me find out who they played.
They played Golden State without Steph, but everyone else was there.
What? Guess what, Trey? Guess what, Trey? The Lakers caught lightning. The Lakers caught lightning in the bottle.
That's
what they did. They caught lightning. That's what they did last night. They caught lightning in the bottle. What? How y'all gonna claim that and ain't have Steph? How y'all claiming that?
Hey, not our fault. Kuminga, Ty Jerome's dropped 20. Clay dropped 22. Jordan Poole dropped 16.
They
were without Steph. We was without D'Angelo.
Did whatchamacallit play? Did what's his name? No, for I know LeBron played bum behind. Oh boy,
19. He 13 points.
No, for Golden State.
Draymond.
Yes,
he played. 6 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists. A regular stat line for Draymond. That's the same stat line.
That's fact.
I got a question.
Yes,
is Draymond a Hall of Famer?
Woo.
Ooh, boy, that's a hard one right there. God,
he's gonna probably get in, but that's one. I think that's the.
But if he gets in because he got championships, because that's the only reason he gets in.
I don't know.
That's the only. What else you gonna give him?
Draymond is like a oxymoronic player, whereas like his contributions that don't show up in paper.
Triple single.
He is. He do fill up the stats with some single digits. But
okay, so the reason I asked that is you look at Draymond, and you look at Draymond's stat line, but yet people say Robert Horry is not a Hall of Famer, and Robert Horry did more than Draymond.
And I was just about to say that Robert Horry definitely did more than Draymond.
Y'all think that? I don't know.
Yes. What do you mean think that? What?
So if you start talking about the ring conversation, he's got
7 of them. That part.
more than
and was key in a few of those.
A lot of big shots.
Yes, key in a few of those.
That's the only reason why I brought that up.
That's a hard one because when you look at it, if Draymond goes somewhere else, is Draymond to say Draymond?
No. Nope. He's not. Not in my opinion. But
the one thing he's known for right now is knocking the hell out of his teammate.
That's it.
He dropped it.
That's it. But in my opinion, Draymond is a Hall of Famer, but he's not a first ballot.
The ultimate hype man.
He's gonna make it, but
he's gonna sit a couple of ballots before he gets in. Like that's like no difference. Do you think is Pau Gasol a first ballot? Is Dirk actually a first ballot?
Yes.
Dirk?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unequivocally.
Tony Parker?
Yes.
I think Tony Parker has to be a first ballot. If Manu got in first ballot, Tony has no
because they right there together. Yeah, you got to get, if you put Manu in, you got to put Tony in.
And you know they're going along the lines of the Yao Ming thing. They're not from the United States.
Okay, I get what you say. So international, yeah,
they're gonna get that international.
Oh, so they're definitely gonna get it internationally. Yeah, so it's like so. But I said, but thought about that. I was like, is Powell? But again, all of them international technically.
How many championships Powell got?
Three. Two. He got two with Kobe. He should have had 3, but he had that year. He had just got over there, and they got scrapped up by Boston.
I don't know if Powell makes it. If he does, he's not a first ballot. He's not a first ballot. If Powell makes it, he's not a first.
No, Powell, he's probably gonna get it this year.
He's gonna get in.
Yeah,
he's gonna get in.
Yeah, he's gonna get it. Y'all think he's gonna get first?
I don't know about first, but he's gonna get in.
He's gonna get in. I say he get in.
Yeah,
just like Draymond. I think
Draymond, international. He's international. Hell, his brother's gonna get in.
He's in the first ballot. Yeah, I mean, trash.
Straight trash.
Good point. If Curry and Clay couldn't shoot, Draymond would be a journeyman.
That is a good point, Cal. That is a good point. That is a good point.
Which is equivalent to what Corey was, and he's not in the Hall of Fame. So I think maybe Draymond doesn't get in. Maybe Draymond doesn't get in. Who else was out? Malik Beasley, great pickup. 25 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist last night. Who else? 14 points from Ryu Hachimura, 10 points from Mo Bamba, 17 points Austin Reeves. I had a question. I thought about that.
What else is there to go off, Anthony, to get in the Hall of Fame? That's all you can go off is stats. You can't go off anything else. Stats is what gets you in the Hall of Fame. Record-breaking things get you in the Hall of Fame. Stats. That's what gets you in there. You've done something more than any other player or
that individual accolades.
Accolades, yeah. But that's individual accolades. It's stats, though. Yeah, it's still stats.
Well, I'm talking about like awards and stuff like that, championships, all those accolades as well. I'm starting to really have to wonder, like, why does a championship hold water? Because you got people who get in that don't have championships and just have accolades. You got players that has championships that we don't know anything about. Hell, you got staff members that have championships. But in any case, I'm starting to really think about that. But I had a question, right? What's going on, Coach Anderson? What's up? My Lakers would be a tough out. Thank you, Coach. Thank you. That's 3 people: Coach Anderson, Coach Walcott, and myself.
It's early in the morning over there.
Obviously.
Hey,
I just
get gin and tonic down.
I just told you.
Thought I was orange juice first,
bruh. Yeah, or drink some coffee. I just told you 5 teams that the Lakers is going to really have problems trying to get by before they can make it to see a finals. 5 teams out west. 5 out west alone. But okay, we'll see.
They're not winning a 5th time Donovan. Not this year.
It's gonna be hard. In my opinion, it's gonna be hard for Golden State to win a 5th one. Out west again, Golden State is in that same boat.
Is Steph a first year ballot?
Hell yeah! Without question, What? Are you
You
serious,
think so?
Trey?
Yeah, think about it.
I
Like,
told
Trey,
Trey got
we're
something in his
talking
cup, man.
bro, Trey, we're
What
talking
Trey got
about.
in his cup today?
I don't know. I don't
he's
know,
the
Mr.
second.
Richardson.
He's probably he's the second
Trey.
best shooter behind Steph in the league. I get
No,
it.
Trey.
Yes.
He
He
is
has
the
4
best.
championships.
Trey. No. What you will not do is not. You would not.
You're not gonna say that he's a better shooter. You're not gonna say he's a better shooter than Steph, are you?
Who?
Clay.
Oh, did you say Steph or Clay?
I say Clay. I say is Clay a first year ballot? I know Steph is. Is Clay a
Oh,
first year ballot?
Okay.
I thought he said
yeah.
Steph. He said Steph. You said Steph because I think
I'm
me
sorry,
and
I mean
Yeah,
Clay.
yeah.
It's Clay. It's Clay.
Oh, you meant Clay.
I mean Clay. Yeah.
Oh, Clay.
I want to say Clay's
at this
probably
point. He's Robert Horry.
No.
He's a better version of Robert Horry.
Okay,
No,
I give
I
you that.
think-
He's
I
better
think
than
Clay is gonna have to go somewhere else and get from under Steph's shadow.
to be a Hall of Famer.
Yes, I think
So-
to get his own accolades, because just what Trey talking about, you kind of put them together as a big three,
Facts.
and I think Clay is still a little unproven right now to me, because he's not consistent. Like right now, Steph is out. He should be putting up 30, 40. He should be making by himself.
Yeah. He let Poole run the team.
Yeah. He's turned into a great Robin. He need to be Batman right now.
Got you. Okay. Good analogy. I like that.
Clay equals
I
Joe
like that.
Dumars.
Clay equals Joe Dumars. Team success gets him in alone.
No. Bad analogy, Uriah. Bad analogy. Bad analogy. Joe D was probably one of the best defensive players in the league.
That was Clay at one point.
I was about to say Clay was good before he got the injury now.
Clay,
defense.
you know what? Clay was on the trajectory, in my opinion. Clay was on the trajectory of what Kawhi Leonard was at until the injury.
No, because Clay never won Defensive Player of the Year now.
He didn't, but he was on all defensive teams. Well, not top defense. I think he was second team.
Second
so
team.
he was. He was expected. He was the one of the better. He was second in two-way players.
Joe D goes down as one of the best defenders ever.
Okay.
Yeah.
At the two guard.
That part.
They just honored him here in McNeese and Lake Charles a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. Coach G said Clay will eventually, just because he got the ring, he's not a first ballot, but he's not a first ballot.
I can agree with that.
Okay, that makes sense.
I could co-sign that.
That makes sense. Jordan said Joe Dumars made it real tough for him to get 50 versus Facts.
Hey, Coach Ross said,
Joe Dumars was that dude. People, I don't know why people think Joe D was. They call him Joe D for a reason. Joe D was that dude. People sleep on Joe Dumars.
And a certified sniper.
That part.
Probably one of the best shooters I've ever seen.
Oh, he said he see what you saying, Mike.
I'm a little biased when it comes to Joe D though. I'm real biased when it comes to Joe D.
Because you've seen him. It's a difference. It's like everyone.
Well, I used to work at his camps.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So he's a different love and affinity for him. So one of the things I was about to say, especially with Coach Anderson and a Lakers fan, who do y'all think is better, Austin Reeves or damn, what's his name? He's in Chicago now, or Alex Caruso?
Ooh, Trey, where you getting these names from, boy? Alex Caruso.
Yeah. He was the Lakers. You know, it's not. But
he didn't do nothing. He really didn't do a whole lot when he was in LA. But he did more when he came out of LA.
Like if y'all, I pay attention.
All he did is, to me, he wore a great gold headband.
Alex Caruso used to catch bodies. Like Alex Caruso, people didn't think Alex Caruso could jump.
Yeah. He can.
Alex Caruso was that Mac McClung type. Begins on the game. Correct. Alex Caruso is better than, and what we're not going to do is hate on the Bulls. That's why he's that. Well, technically, I think that it opened the door for Alex Caruso when they didn't pay him that money. That's what opened the door for them to get Austin Reeves. I think Austin Reeves is better though. Yeah. Better jumper, Caruso can strap up better.
Mm.
But it was funny because the Lakers always, for whatever reason, seems to keep, you know how the quote unquote people say a token, whatever. There's always only for the last couple of years, there's only been one Caucasian player for the Lakers, and it was Alex Caruso. Alex Caruso left and became Austin Rivers. Oh, Austin Reeves.
No. They had
They
Blake.
had Malika. They had. You said they had who?
They had
I'm saying before, because then they only had, like, back in the day, they used to, since LeBron has been there, they've only had one white player on the team.
Yeah, they had Blake though. Yeah,
Blake was the dude. And people, that's
and
another
Blake,
one of people.
And Blake was a certified problem.
Yeah. And on defense, and he was scrappy. Blake could sit up and throw hands if he had to.
Yeah. It's with a 2-piece real quick.
Yeah, he was one of
that
those.
Part.
Yeah. Coach Anderson, Caruso can create his own reads as a system guy. Both talented. I like them both. I agree. And so I wasn't too against them bringing Caruso back. But of course, in state is Caruso is in. He had that injury that took him out last year, and he's back, but no Lonzo Ball. So I'm sorry, Coach Uriah. I'm sorry. We introduced Chicago to that.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead and take a sip of that cup.
I'm sorry, Coach Uriah. We didn't say anything about Chicago. We didn't shout out Lonzo Ball. But yeah, so of course, Bishop, how are you liking, or as well as Coach Richardson, New Orleans, Brooklyn? What's y'all expectancies for them going out? Do they get into the play-in?
what
Brooklyn does. I don't know about the
Pelicans.
You don't think the Pelicans? You don't even think when
Brooklyn
comes back?
Yeah, Brooklyn's in. Yeah, the
I
Pelicans
starts to they're probably gonna get into the play-in. I think both of them actually are probably become play-in.
I don't know about the
Brooklyn. Brooklyn is in 5th spot right now.
Yeah, but look who they got. All y'all guys Malik Beasley over there currently. I mean, not Malik Beasley, the other Beasley.
The Pelicans, they in the 8th spot.
Y'all played tonight. Yeah, Pelicans is going to probably play in or out.
Yeah, the Pelicans. Yeah, Brooklyn makes it. Brooklyn. Amari Stoudemire.
What does Amari Stoudemire do? I don't know. I don't think Amari. He might eventually. I don't think he's definitely not a first ballot. A Hall of Famer, maybe.
I don't know. Zion got hurt at the wrong time with Mardi Gras. Keep them cooked.
King cakes away from him.
Keep them king cakes away from his boy.
Cal is on today, man. What is wrong with Cal?
Cal's always on one. And then it was funny is if you go look at Cal's Facebook profile after like the day and stuff, he be having stuff all throughout the day. He be saying stuff. Last night, of course,
his career as a comedian.
Of course, last night it was a situation in Dallas. 142-116 by the tune of the Mavericks tuning up for the Lakers game on Sunday, defeating the San Antonio Spurs. Kyrie Irving, 23 points, 1 rebound, 6 assists. Luka didn't play last night. Oh, yes, he did. 28 points, 7 rebounds, 10 assists, 22 points, 1 rebound from Tim Hardaway Jr., 16.7 rebounds from Christian Wood, 15 points, 2 rebounds from Justin Holiday, 12 points from Reggie Bullock, and 11 points from Josh Green, as well as Dwight Powell contributed with 10 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists for the Spurs. Keldon Johnson continues to lead the team, 22 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. Malachi Brandon, 23 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, 13 points, 12 rebounds from Zach Collins, 16 points from Charles Bassey. Blake Leslie with 9 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. Devontae Graham, 10 points. Doug McDermott, 6 points, 3 rebounds. And Zach Collins, a double-double. I already say him, 13 and 12. And Kia Diop, 15.6 rebounds, 2 assists.
So I got a question for you. You just read off the stats of the Spurs. How many wins they got? 14?
14 and 46.
So we can go out on a limb and say the Spurs are the tune-up for anybody.
Well, you know what? Those were Cal's words, not mine. He was like a tune-up. So, but when they face the Lakers on Sunday,
who the Spurs do?
No, the Mavericks.
Mavericks.
Yep.
Easy win for the Lakers.
Why is it easy win for the Lakers? Against the Mavericks?
Yeah. They ain't got no defense. Mavericks ain't got no defense.
If we can get this W, that puts us a game and a half behind the Mavericks for the 6th seed.
Yeah, the Mavericks don't have no defense. Them acquiring Kyrie might have been the worst thing they could have done. Because now they really have no defense.
I think we do start to stamp them as legit, Coach D. I really do.
Do we stamp who as legit? Do we stamp who?
The Lakers. I know this is not coming from a person that sit up and thinks Brooklyn's still going to be in the playoffs in the next 2 weeks. I know this is not coming from that.
Anytime this dude say some old crazy stuff, man, I need a bull on or
something. And that's why I had to sit up and say that's coming from me not as a Lakers fan. I think they do. Like that's
straight coming from you as a Laker fan, Trey. How y'all? What makes y'all legit now, Trey? What clearly makes y'all legit? Because y'all added old boy.
We're starting to formulate. Like Coach Uriah said, the Lakers made some underrated moves. They really did. We got better with the Pelinka probably saved his job. Even if we don't make it to the playoffs, Pelinka probably saved his job.
Thank you, Anthony. Anthony said it best.
Just wait. Let me see. What is the Lakers?
Trey, if y'all even make it to the playoffs, y'all getting bounced out the first round. First round.
I'm not going to even entertain your conversation there, Bishop, because that's not even true.
Y'all getting bounced out the first round, bro. If y'all make it to the playoffs, y'all getting bounced out the first round. Here go Coach Hunter. No lie, the moves they made make them a legit player. Okay, Coach Hunter. Okay. I can't wait.
We ain't worried about LeBron breaking no records right now. So go back to the usual game. We beat New Orleans before the
y'all was worried about LeBron breaking a record and y'all lost the game. But the game in which he broke the record on. Like, what sense does that make?
We beat Golden State last night.
Lose the game that you broke the record on.
We got Dallas on Sunday, Memphis on Tuesday, OKC on Wednesday, Minnesota on that Friday. We got a gauntlet. Like we got over the next Dallas, Memphis, OKC, Minnesota, Golden State, Memphis again, Toronto, and New York, and then back to New Orleans on the 14th of the. So in the course of the next month,
y'all could lose five of those games.
It's Darvin Ham shooting up.
We could lose 5 of those games, but we already be in the playoffs by that time.
Hey, they got Darvin Ham suiting up. He the only one got heart. He's suiting up.
Oh my gosh, bro! Brooklyn, not in the play-ins. Okay. No, they're not, Calvin. Are the Lakers built for this long road ahead? A play-in tournament just to face Denver? No, they're not. That's my thing. They're getting bounced out, bro.
Worry about that. We're not going to worry about it. We're going to have a solidified position 1 through 6.
Y'all not. Oh my god, bro!
It's just wait. We have 22 games left. After that,
is there a way? I need to talk to E2G Sports and see if we can get your analysis taken added to. Because this dude here, wow. Thank you, wow, man. Like, come on,
1
bro.
through 6. He's put a hitty.
Oh my god, bro! I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you, sir. Because this dude here,
we're here 1 through 6.
Coach Cal, the Lakers can beat Denver and Memphis if healthy. I give y'all Memphis if healthy. I don't think they can beat Denver. I don't.
In a 7-game series?
In a 7-game series, I don't think. Nope. Because Denver would have home court.
Okay, I got a question for y'all.
Yes, sir.
Flipping the script. Who is y'all best team in the military right now?
Oh, he talking to them because I sure don't know. I'll tell you once after this weekend, but I don't know right now.
So, surveying and taking a look and seeing everyone that's been playing. You know what I really see and what I really think of, because I was going to ask, when is the West Coast going to start getting love? Because I see Coach Anderson in the tournament they put on this week, and I haven't heard much in reference of. I always see, of course, the East, everything on the East. So who's been consistent in which I've seen been playing? Actually, who has been consistent? Honestly, outside of the tournament, it's a hard question. Let me think.
Who on the Lakers stop and joke? That's what I said, Anthony. But either way,
I almost want to lead towards Langley, but Langley ain't paying the capital this year. This year, did they?
Yes, they did.
Oh, yes, they did. But they lost. They was even in the top 4.
They was missing a key piece though.
Oh, okay.
2 key pieces.
You know what? I would give a scrappy team that I think is up and coming, in which I've seen them. They've been pretty consistent, and it just is. I would say I ain't gonna say they're the best, but I give them a lot of love. Is Fort Gordon right now. I think they've been a pretty consistent team. Of course, they have.
I got to see them up close and personal. They played Lackland last weekend.
Okay, and they lost by 2, right, or something like that, or was it a blowout? I think
they lost by 1.
1-1. Yeah. Okay. I thought. Yeah.
It was back and forth the whole game. Gordon is a good team.
Yeah, I think. I'm not saying they're the best, but they're
good. They're good, and they play together. They're good.
Fort Gordon.
Yeah, they got a nice squad.
That's Coach Tate. We had.
Whatchamacallit, they was on the show, right?
And
The two. Yeah, I remember them. Yeah.
The kid that Coach Tate told Mike to watch out from the Air Force.
I got to see him.
Yeah.
I got to see him. He's legit.
So yeah, I would say Gordon, not necessarily the best, but I'm pretty consistent. I'm an underdog type person anyway. So I think Gordon is an underdog, as well as Carson, like them people who we don't. That's not the usual ones of which you've been able to see of late, because of for whatever reason, like you said, funding or different thing. Not being biased, my own squad. Of course, you're right. It's always going to be here. Own squad. I have seen Air Force Academy, Bragg, and JBLE, Sleeper Team, West Texas, and Cannon Air Force Base. So Air Force Academy. Okay.
Bragg. There you have it from Coach Hunter.
JBLE.
JBLE for Bragg. He didn't even put Gordon in there.
Fort Hood, Luke, Bragg, Camp Pendleton, Langley, if they can ever travel fully. Langley, everyone Langley. I keep on, Langley. I know, Coach Daniel talked yesterday about the teams there. Talk about the Miramar team.
The Miramar team. That's the Marine team.
Yeah, it's a Marine team. Yeah, Pendleton and Miramar. So he talked about that yesterday. Of course, like I said, I keep hearing things about the Hawaii Elite team, but of course, like I said, don't get to see them. I know currently Fort Hood still number 1 in the NMBT ranking, correct?
Yes. And probably one of the teams that Cal just mentioned them, probably the team that was with their regular roster that was very impressive. Bragg.
Bragg.
Bragg is a problem.
Okay.
Bragg is a problem. I mean, Mayo went to his whole bag.
The whole bag.
Yeah. He went to work. Yeah, so probably that one team that probably no one's talking about that's really good that I saw last week at the Capital Classic was Fort Bragg.
Fort Bragg.
The only team that they lost 2 games, and they lost both games to Wayne, to Walcott's team.
Okay.
Wayne Walcott, Coach Wayne.
They lost to that squad, and
interesting enough that I see. So right here, I have in front of me the latest installation from the 19th of the NMBT's top 25, starting at the bottom. Fort Worth JRB of this USMBL, Tinker Hawks, West Texas Military Basketball at number 22, Barksdale Bombers Independent, 21 Fort Campbell Eagles, number 20 Cannon Commandos. Number 19, the Fort Benning Yellow Jackets. Number 18, Nellis Lightning. Number 17, NSBD Tridents. And number 16, Fort Gordon. At 15, Meyer Henderson Hall Generals. 14, NCMB Marines. At number 13, Camp Pendleton MCB. At number 12, Mayport Hurricanes. 11, Elgin Eagles. As we get into the top 10, Fort just mentioned the Charleston CSMB. Coach Walcott, Luke Thunderbolts, Coach Paris, Herbert Commandos at number 8, Lackland or Warhawks at number 7, at number 6, Fort Carson Mountaineers at number 5, Hawaii Elite, number 4, Langley Uses, as we just talked about, LBE, number 3, Fort Bragg jumps into the fray, at number 2, Air Force Academy, and last but not least, at number 1, Fort Hood Phantom Warriors. Top 5: Hood, Luke, Bragg, Camp Pendleton, and Benning, as from Coach Anderson. Top 3, Luke, Bragg, and Camp Pendleton.
That's the top 5 in the NBA.
Tall guy with the headband for Bragg is tough. So Bragg, of course, others receiving recognition: Scott Air Force Base, CMB, that's Colorado Military Basketball, Shepherd Air Force Base, Fort Lee, and Holloman Air Force Base.
So that's the top 30.
Mm-hmm. Takeaway is all one service players can make a huge difference for any team. I like Pendleton and Luke out west. I forgot about Benning. That guy Bill is still working. I haven't heard nothing. As a matter of fact, I haven't heard anything. Well, I see Bill was still. He played on the Cure for Cancer team. I haven't heard. Where's Wooten at? I ain't. He's been on here, but
he's at Campbell.
Playing? Okay.
He played last weekend.
Okay.
He was there. Yes. The service player. Hey, one service player can make a difference. Try putting when you got 4. So it's tough. It's tough. It's really tough. I mean, Coach Walcott he probably had 3 guys that probably would start for Team USA Armed Forces.
And so asking that question, it puts a perspective on you creating, or you and the committee creating the top 25 for the most part. Like it's so many different factors to go into it. And I know at the beginning, from the onset of you putting out your first list, it's been nothing but slack thrown and given, and constantly like going back and forth, and people not agreeing, people having different discussions. Of course, I'm very sure some of those discussions probably helped to start to shape the I guess you could say algorithm or anything in the case. So, in your opinion, why has Fort Hood remained at the top of the list so far, wire to wire?
They've only lost 1 military team since last year.
Okay.
So yeah, they went. Let's see, the MLK tournament that they had. Mm-hmm. They had what? 13 teams, I think.
Yeah, I remember talking to Ryan. He said he talked about the competition.
They walked through that undefeated, and don't bother. It don't hurt when you got about 2 or 3 All-Army cats on that roster.
Listen, Walcott lost in mine 5 times.
So he must have a 4 hood must have a height and weight, a height and size requirement
when it comes to PCS orders.
Wow. Is they recruiting like that? Is 4 hood recruiting like that? Is that what it is?
Even remember when we was at 4 hood, it's always been people. It's always 4 hood has always been hard, like one of those installations. I mean,
well, it used to be back in the early late 90s. That was the home for all Army basketball.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. It was. Yeah.
If you played all Army, you were stationed.
That's where you go. Yeah, Fort Hood.
You know, you were stationed at Fort Hood. When you played for Fort Hood, they all were there.
They don't need a 16 guy in defense.
Stashing them like they putting people on. It's like, yeah, they're just excess. He's just excess. He's just excess.
Yeah, he just only
Since Nationals, we lost to Lackland and Fort Jackson. I'm spoiled at Fort Hood. Can't lie. We're gonna look up, and next you know, Coach Rod's gonna be in Sam Houston.
I know, right?
Making moves, putting him someplace. So that's interesting, of course. So of course, we and you spoke earlier before getting on as we get closer to the end of the show, Coach Mike. So what is new that's coming out for the National Military Basketball Tournament this year, starting this year?
We just came up with we're going to have an all-star game.
Nice.
We're going to put an all-star game in right before the consolation game. And here's how it's going to work real quick. It's going to work real quick with once the teams are announced that's participating in the National Military Basketball Tournament this year. For the coaches meeting, I'm going to hand out ballots to all of the coaches. Mm-hmm. They're going to pick their 2 players who they would select to participate in the all-star game. That will give us a total of 32 players. Subtracting the 8 players that are participating in the Final Four. Mm-hmm. So all the players that's playing in the All-Star game will be eliminated from the tournament. Those that are still in the tournament will not be able to participate in the All-Star game. Kind of like they do it for the Pro Bowl.
Right.
So what we're going to do is those 24 players will then we're going to just put them all in a hat, do a random lottery draw, split them up into 2 teams, two teams of 12. The coaches will be selected from the quarterfinal rounds. So whoever made that final 8, so the final 4, we'll probably pair those coaches up and let them coach each a squad. The all-star jerseys are going to be provided by Mo Apparel. They're going to do the jerseys. We're going to also award an all-star MVP for the game. And we just think that's really a good thing. Also a little treat for, I guess, the all-service coaches as well, because they get to see all-stars playing in all-star game.
Mm-hmm. Play amongst each other.
Yeah, and now you got top-notch talent against top-notch talent. The best of the best going at it.
Okay, Coach Johnson, any update on the rules or eligibility for nationals?
Well, RJ, if you'd have woke up when we came on the air, you heard all that. So you're going to have to go back and watch the tape. I know it's about 5 a.m. over there in Hawaii. When we came on, it's like 4 o'clock. Mm-hmm. But we talked about most of it.
Mm-hmm. For eligibilities and stuff like that. Man, that was like he said, that was like 4 o'clock in the morning.
So I guess eligibility requirements, I can just touch up on it real quick. We did talk about it earlier. Mm-hmm. What we're looking at is when we crown the national champion, we're looking at crowning pretty much the best military varsity basketball squad. Now we understand that we're also looking at players. We want to have the best players possible. So players that aren't on an active roster. Active meaning, for instance, if a team is not selected for the National Military Basketball Tournament to come, Now that whole roster from that team are free agents. They are free to play with whoever they want to play with. But the teams that pick them up, the caveat to that is you only allow 2. No more than 2. So you can have 2 free agents on your roster. And we do that for a reason of, let's say, for instance, since RJ has asked the question, Hawaii Elite. Hawaii Elite's out there in Hawaii. Now, I don't know his situation. I don't know how many of his guys have already purchased plane tickets, what have you. Let's say for out of his roster of 15, he's only got 8 coming. He can pick up 2 free agents to round out his roster and make it 10. But the caveat to that is, as well, is you can't go grab a guy off an active roster who's playing in the tournament. So that way you don't have 2 guys on one roster. Now, and I hear the thing about guys that's talking about, well, what if we have a problem with the coach at my base or whatever? Let's say I'm here at Lackland and me and Coach Hollins don't get along. We don't see eye to eye. Well, that's tough luck. The only way that you can play for somebody else and become a free agent is if you got to go to that coach. Coach Hollins is going to have to release you. Meaning he ain't going to submit you as a member on his roster, on his team. So if you're released in that aspect from the team or kicked off or whatever, you are free to play for whoever you want to. But we ain't doing the LeBron James, Miami Heat, Dwayne Wade. Hey, I'm taking my talents over here to play for blah, blah, blah. We ain't doing that.
I like it. Don't do that. Yeah, don't allow that.
You're fine in open tournaments. You're fine. You can do that at the Capital Classic. You can have the Dream Team if you want. You can have Dream Team 2023 at the Capital Classic. That's fine. But let me see. Okay, got you. What DD form you gonna fill out for that? Oh, you talk about something else. One of the things is, if you look back there, y'all see my monitors back there.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a good little thing. So how do we find out where guys are? Well, I got global.
Mm-hmm.
I type in a name, I know exactly where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
So people think I don't know, but I pretty much know. I know my business is to know where the best military hoopers are in the military. That's my job.
That part.
I know what them cats at.
That part.
So, when you do something like that, that's fine. I don't have no problem with that. But we always know that you do have a choice for the players that want to play with their friends. That's fine. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But there are tournaments for that form. The National Military Basketball Tournament is not that tournament. How is that fair to someone out there? Like, let's keep it real. Like Luke Air Force Base out there, they grinding with their team from August to April. He's grinding. They work their way and they earn their way into the National Military Basketball Tournament to face a team. I'll just throw one out there. Cure Cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Is that fair? Is that a level playing field?
Get you. I got you.
You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
Cure Cancer is made up of, probably a couple guys from Fort Polk, a couple guys from here, a couple guys from there, and, with bidding guys, and then you just put it all together. That's fine for open tournament. That is fine. But the National Military Basketball Tournament is not that. If we had an open division, meaning if we had just an open division, then yeah, we could put Cure Cancer in there. We could put the team Coach Walcott had in there, but we don't have that. We don't have open division, so they can go into play in the open tournaments, whether it be the Capital Classic, what's the one, the badges and all that stuff with the military when you got the we got the badges and the cop tournaments.
Okay. I'm tracking. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's perfect. You can do that because all you have to do is have that DOD
Battle of the Badges.
Battle of Badges. Yeah, that tournament. Yeah, those are open tournaments. Now, if you're fine with that, you can go and win all the ones you want with like that. But you can't expect them to say, "Hey, Mike, we're being treated unfairly." No one's gonna feel sorry for you, bro. You coming in with the Harlem Globetrotters. I mean, we're not gonna feel sorry for you.
That part.
Yeah.
So is there any do you plan or will it be? Of course, I'm very sure it's down the line. Would there ever be an opportunity to where any of these tournaments will be strictly sanctioned to where you get the buy-in potentially to open those doors, or it's just going to stay Joe Call for the most part because you know you can control that and you know for a fact that it's only organic to military installation teams.
That's hard to say right now because the landscape has changed so much in just the last 12 months. Let's be honest. So, when the NBA came on board, when they were the brand new entity, a lot of teams flocked to it.
Yeah, but now the independents are coming up,
and so now all of a sudden this year, for whatever reason, you had a lot of teams leave that format.
Yeah.
And so now, guess what? The NBA, only NBA teams can compete for the military basketball finals.
Okay, got it.
So what did that do to the national? Well, now instead of my normal maybe 40 to 45 teams competing for 16 spots, now it's about 70. Because they're no longer eligible to go to the NBA finals. For them, if they're going to play a postseason tournament, it's qualify for the national or bust. So that's why all of a sudden now, a lot harder. Yeah. So now that's why I'm getting scrutinized so much about how am I determining who's the best teams and blah, blah. That's what's happening right now. And so at the end of the day, we're totally an invitational tournament. So when people say, I've seen people come on my page and like, hey, be up on my poll, but guess what? I can always turn to this. Yeah, my rankings matter. You know why? Because I bring who I want to bring in. So I'm Jimmy the Greek.
It's Jimmy the Greek.
Got it.
I'm the Swami.
Yeah, you the man.
Everybody like to say, hey, if you're a coach.
Yeah, that's what basically Coach Wayne just said, exactly what you just said.
You the man. Yep.
There you go. So when it comes down to everything, when guys say, you got to be respectful. You got to be respectful in the way, if I'm coaching the team, I would like to say my team is the best. But does their record reflect that? Now, I'm not just bringing any bozos in. Right. You look down my rankings, they're pretty accurate. The best teams are coming. The best teams are coming. And like we spoke about earlier, sometimes the best teams can't travel, so then I go to the next team on the list.
Yeah, it becomes that. So in that being said, Coach, because that's like elections, like you just said, and using the example of 70 teams, quote unquote, and you only got 16 spots. That's a tough shoes. Is there any opportunity or potential? I know, of course, it comes with funding and stuff like that to expand it. Because now we're looking at like the BCS, the CFP or March Madness type stuff. Is there any opening possibility for maybe expanding in the teams or whatever case like that, and making it a little bit and taking from the blueprint of, like, let's say Final Four or something like that?
Yes. Okay. But the hold up to that is right now is like I only got 3 days, so I'm looking for a new probably a new date where we have a 4-day weekend We used to have it prior to we used to have it Memorial Day weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So we have 4 days. So if I have 4 days, I got plenty of gyms.
Okay, yeah.
I got all the gyms in
Yeah,
JVSA.
you got the gyms
And there's
across
plenty
San
of them.
Antonio.
There's plenty of them.
I got all the gyms.
Yeah.
I just need more days. I need more time that can correspond to where we can bring in those teams, because it's hard to get those guys permissive TDY, get them off work. So the best time to do it would be on a 4-day weekend. Like right now, I'm only staged in the last weekend in April.
Mm-hmm.
So no holiday there.
Correct.
That's what makes the Capital Classic so good, because it's over a 4-day weekend, President's Day weekend. Got a 4-day weekend. So venues is not a problem for me. I can utilize a gym at Randolph. I can use the 2 gyms at Fort Sam. I can use my 2 gyms or 3 gyms at Lackland. I can push it up to, I could probably host easy in 4 days. I could bring in the top 40.
Mm. No more excuses at that point.
That part.
Coach Ryan, of course, Wayne coming with the comments with their current FA rules. We will still beat the brakes off Air Force Club. Put us in their bracket, please. It sounds like Wayne said, I'm already gonna get an invite. So go ahead and let's put us in their bracket.
This is trash.
I guess it's like Coach Wayne asking for all the smoke. If he gets to the Nationals, he asking for it all.
Coach Ryan, you gonna let that slide? They pulling up. They want all the smoke. Coach Wayne said he want all the smoke.
Charlotte SCMB. That's what he hit. That's what he said.
Well, only have one question.
Uh-oh.
What roster you gonna submit?
That part. And it's coming. Yeah, it's coming down to that. Always have. One
of the big things that changed from last year is that team he brought last year, which a lot of the guys that he had played in the Capital Classic, they were all stationed there.
Yeah, now they're spread out. Yeah,
they're gone. I don't know if he got one guy outside the civilian, the dependent that's stationed at Charleston. Yeah, Wayne ain't even in Charleston.
Wayne.
He said he will be. He's like, roster according to the rules is what he's going to say to you.
If you want to put him in the Fighting Freddy Kruegers.
The team they play with in the Capitol.
I mean, that was the uniforms that had the Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, I seen it. The Cougars. Yeah, I seen it with Krueger on
that won't already be on the active rosters, right?
Call them Nightmare on Elm Street. 2 phrases that will already be on the active roster. Right. Correct. He's right.
Okay, is what he's asking. Okay.
Max.
Right.
No more than 2.
No more than 2 free agents.
I got a warning from Facebook for using that word. Sorry, team.
Pistol, probably the word
pistol. Yeah,
I'm assuming. Yeah.
So okay. So so the set, of course, y'all know everyone knows where Mike Fess-Richardson down in San Antonio. If you got questions in reference to the National Military Basketball Tournament, very consistent in posting and talking. Like I said, Texas 2-Step hit it last night. The Madness tournament in Denver, of course, that's another tune-up potential.
Peterson Space Force Base.
Roger that, the Space Force Base, where they have an opportunity to pull up. If y'all,
where's that at? In Denver?
Yeah,
Colorado Springs.
Oh, Colorado Springs.
When is that?
Where is that? When is that?
That's going to be the last weekend, I think the 24th to the 26th of March. And on the 26th of March is when I'm going to release the Selection Sunday.
Okay. Gotcha.
Selection Sunday is when we're going to find out who coming to the big dance and what pool you're playing in and the whole 9.
Okay.
Selection show will be live, and we're going to have coaches on and everything.
Okay.
Nice.
So you basically
if I can get some cameras out there to show the teams when they don't get picked,
Ooh, the faces we gonna see. The faces we gonna
Just
see.
all you need is all you need is fees up in there. It's like, hey, coaches, put that person up, put your team up, and then to start doing it is if you don't get picked, get the real reactions. Oh, well, you might get more than you actually bargained for. You might hear all kind of stuff.
Might get paid.
It might be more than Coach Ryan getting a notification about using the word pistol.
That part.
Facebook jail.
Yeah, that part.
We bringing the battalion information to see Iron Show. So
see Iron Show.
So wow. Yeah, it's definitely gonna go down. So basically, definitely looking forward to that. I'm definitely planning to pull up in San Antonio that weekend anyway. So to check it out, to get the ambience of Nationals and see everything. So I'm definitely coming through.
We're gonna have people there. We got coaches coming in. We got college coaches going to be there. We got guest speakers happening. Soldiers at the sideline supposed to be in place.
Okay.
And when is this one? When is this one, Trey? When is that one?
National is at the last weekend.
30th of April.
Yes.
28th to 30th of April. Okay. The last week in April, basically. Okay.
Yep. So it's going to be on and popping, man. We trying to do things. We want to make sure people keep coming back. Because at the end of the day, MWR, what we're doing is, hey, we're governed by the AFI, and we want to keep everything on base. That's the deal. We're trying to keep everything on base. Behind the gates.
Nothing like it. So, of course, we greatly appreciate Coach Mike Richardson coming through this Friday evening.
Definitely.
Of course, I'm always looking to get, especially when we want to continue to push. Right now, it's military basketball because that's what's out there. But if we're not against, we know softball is out there, soccer. I know. I'm just thinking of some of the people that hit me up about varsity teams or for softball, rugby. It's like it's not. We don't want to seem like we're just one particular genre. It's just what's the most popular for the most part. But we also looking at it, always giving any type of platform to anyone that wants to get on the talk and get engaged, especially if you're doing great things, especially in the military or support of military sports and the military athlete. This is what we're all about, as well as any other in particular, especially communities and things of that nature. Before I forget, Bishop, are you checking out the Fury versus Paul fight tonight this weekend?
I just saw it pull up. I didn't even know what was going on, man. It's on Sunday, right? I didn't even know it.
No, it's on Saturday. Is it Sunday? It's I thought it's Saturday morning or Sunday. I know you want to see Paul get beat down. I think that's
I sure do. I do. I sure do.
Hey, y'all don't want to over y'all segment, man. Y'all about to go in the 4 more hours.
Yeah. Right.
Like he does not like Paul at all. But great, like I said, greatly appreciate it. Look forward to see y'all. Y'all know where to find us come Monday, where I continue to talk that ish about the Lakers. Continue on with they got another win streak, taking care of Dallas on Sunday. Come back again on Monday. We be ready for it. Jenna, before we get up out of here, any words?
I just want to thank Mr. Richardson coming on here, man, providing his expertise, telling us the truth about what's going on, letting us know about NBA, there's transparency about what's going on with the game in the military, the big tournament that's going on this weekend. Like I said, you will see my face there. I will pop in, see what's going on, see what all the hoopla is about, want to hear what everybody got to do. And thank you so much, Mr. Richardson. We really, really appreciate you.
Hey, man, thank y'all for having me, man. Anytime.
Texas 2-step going down. Saturday, be sure to tap in.
Texas
6.
Yep, y'all be safe, man. We'll holler back at you.
Weekend.
Peace. Cyro 5 Military Fraternity Incorporated.